You have heard from Stephen, and you will hear topics coming up from great speakers after me. So I thought I would take a different angle and discuss one element of what's been going on with our state, with the government so far. We live under Western culture. It is the most productive, the most free, the most just system that you'll find on this planet, beyond anything else. It was under such systems that slavery was hit down. It is under such systems that things that are of injustice can be corrected by the people themselves to be fixed. This is the sort of system, this is the sort of culture that we live in. Western culture owns everything else. Now, within Western culture, there are two tenets, two pillars, if you will. One pillar is the idea of ancient Greek democracy, the style of representation that we have. And on the other hand, we have Judeo-Christian values, principles, and underpinnings in those regards to keep such democracy in check, to keep a parameter of the value of life, the guidance of principles, the acceptance of individualism being a positive thing for our families, the idea of reward coming from work, from effort. These are the two pillars that we have in our system today, our society. What we have seen this year, historically and verifiably, are restrictions of free speech. We saw the Molyneux and the southern area be shut down, be restricted from public environments. We saw Don Brash be removed from the speaking elements of a public institute. We saw him being restricted from his free speech rights that we pay for. We have seen along the way the various restrictions on free speech, and they are growing day by day. So we have seen now this pact, this contract being signed. There's nothing less than an assault on the very nature of sovereignty itself. That is what we've seen in this pact. On the other side, the other tenet, we have seen that Auckland City is now charging hundreds and thousands of dollars to our Judeo-Christian institutes. Those who engage in soup kitchens, those who engage in feeding the homeless, looking after the prostitutes, hundreds of charitable events throughout the year that many of us don't even know about. We see Auckland City now pushing to charge that. We also saw that the Labour speaker, the unbiased independent speaker, Trevor Mallard, removing from the parliamentary prayer the very core of our objective morality. Even if we do not agree or believe in such a thing, this is one of the two core tenets of our culture, our society. This is happening this year alone. And what we can see now is this government is not only after our sovereignty, they are after our soul. The soul of this nation is now under threat. The UN Migration Pact that is being signed is nothing less than a wiping out of one culture to be replaced by another culture. A culture that is coming from an organization who don't even have the decency to have their own land. The UN does not rule us here. We rule us here. There was even an academic yesterday who was reporting, calm down, it's not binding, relax about it, it's just a bunch of goals. So in my head I was thinking, right, so it's actually not replacing our sovereignty, you're just promising to replace our sovereignty. That's what you're doing. And we must stand together. And look at this beautiful, we've got heaps of yellow vests, high-vis vests, and we are standing in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in France, who the mainstream media also happen to be saying, oh no, they're just whining about taxes. They're not whining about taxes. They're whining about the slow, gradual removal of their way of life, their value systems, the very culture that they fought and died for. The same as us. The same as us.
Yep.
We must stand together against this most insidious document that we have. Many of you will know that most of my work has been with at-risk youth, those who have been raped, those who have had suicidal ideation. What I see going on reminds me very much of what I see when a child is being groomed. I believe that we are being groomed to accept this new culture. We have a powerful organisation who are whispering sweet nothings in our ear. No problem. You want some money? Here's some money. Well, I'm sorry. Our funds go to fund our government who is attacking us, and our funds go to fund the UN who is attacking us as well. That's our money. The UN gets their money from governments, the governments get their money from us, from you. That's who it is that we're dealing with right now. And our country leaders did not even have the decency to come and discuss it with us. Very quiet, very quiet. My last point before I drone on too long is this. First, I'm going to virtue signal. Sorry. New Conservative were the first political party to stand up publicly and oppose this pact and oppose everything about it. New Conservative were the first to oppose the first hits on free speech when Southern and Molyneux were kicked out. We were the first to publicly stand and bring it to attention. But we were not the first. We were not the first. Little activity here. Please, just where you are right now, if you could, please just have a look at those people to your left and right, around you. Please, have a look at the eyes. Oh, he's cute, she's cute. Oh, yeah. We were not the first. No political party was the first. The only ones who were the first were you. And it is our absolute privilege. When I said it at the start, privilege, I meant it. It was our privilege and our honour to actually stand up for what you have told us about. And so, in my last part, God bless you and God bless this nation of New Zealand.